I don't know why. Every single time I come on here, um, it's always a complication using TikTok. Why is that? And I have a lot to say today, at least for the next 20-30 minutes. But yeah, today's topic is going to be about protection. How I do my protection spells. But not really quite, because I feel like protection spells should be catered to someone's individual personal lives, like your individual self. Because every spell work, I believe, is not going to be the right one for each person. Even if you go and get the right protection spell that someone told you that you should do, that is going to protect you, I still maintain that your own final touches to that spell, depending on the situation at hand, is what's going to make the spell powerful. So, how I do mine is, I'm not going to say everything, but I use music. Like, let's say, for example, I noticed that a lot of things, bad luck has been happening in my life. I listen to music. But before I listen to music, because sometimes when you're in a really, really bad mood, or like everything's just shit, or like you're in your head, if you have like a sensitive side to you, like there's a word for it. It's an ADHD. It's a word. Sensitive. No, rejection. Sensitive dysphoria. Something like that. It's a neurodivergent term. I was looking it up yesterday. But anyways, so when you have really strong emotions and you're really in your head a lot, your mind is actually a war zone. So not only do you have your mind being in a war zone, you also have things that are going on in your life. Maybe family, maybe work, maybe just life, like just being uncomfortable, being like feeling like you're caged in a prison and you can't get out. And you're claustrophobic. You feel like you're in a tight corner. You know, when you're having these feelings, regardless of whatever the situation at hand is, somebody provoked you, you ask somebody else, you ask somebody out, and the person said, give you an answer that you didn't like, something like that. It could be anything, really. Somebody cut you on the road. These are all negative, you know, feelings or negative emotions or negative energies. Maybe you got attacked in the night and you wake up with the signs of you being attacked when you went to sleep. You wake up. So how I come back to these things, first of all, number one, it should be fasting, because before I got into wearing crystals and, you know, doing spell work for myself, I was fasting. That was when I was a Christian. I was fasting a lot, and the kind of fasting I did was with emotion. Strong emotions. When your emotions are at a heightened state, that's the best time for you to fast or spell work or whatever it is that you do. But for me, when I'm in that angry, like rage, that is the best time for you to do what you gotta do. Like for me, I fast. Like this past week, I've been doing intermittent fasting for like the past week, or at least trying to do intermittent fasting for 18 hours per day. You know, at least trying, you know. And I notice when I'm lighter, I feel like I kind of like get back on that spiritual side of myself. Like I feel strengthened spiritually when I'm lighter. But when I'm heavier, like I notice my body's bloated, or like my face is bloated, or like I feel drained faster than the usual timing. Because I know that after day 1, day 2, day 3, I start feeling drained. And when you notice that you're feeling drained, is the heaviness. Either heaviness on your shoulder, your back, or your head, your crown. You start feeling very heavy. And even if you eat something, you're still gonna feel heavy. It's not about, oh, I didn't eat enough food, that's why I feel this heaviness on me. Sometimes the heaviness is energies. It may not be yours. It could be other people's energies that makes you feel just burdened and it's just cumbersome. And this results to depression. It results to self-harm. Also, some people self-harm. It results to many things that could lead to something bigger. God forbid you off yourself. Don't off yourself, please. it's not worth it. But these things build up over time, and they become so much. And when you feel alone, when you have all these pent up emotions, the result is oftentimes, or at least sometimes, drastic. So to prevent yourself from getting to that end stage, I like to fast. Because when you fast, you disattach. Like, it's like you're separating your physical self from your, like, your spiritual self is separated from your physical self. Like, you being physical now, like, you, yes, you're physical in your being, but it's like you're looking at yourself from a different angle. Like, you're not feeling like this body, you're feeling like you're separate from yourself. And it makes you kind of get out of yourself in a way. It gets out of yourself, out of your physical self, out of your mind. Because the whole reason why we feel the way we feel, or we go through these emotions, is because we're so attached to what's going on in our daily life. We're so attached to it. So when we fast, it kind of clears all of that. It brings clarity. It's like an out of body experience, but you're not really astral traveling. You're removing yourself from the present state of mind that you're in. So that is what I do. Like, and it's not something that happens in one day. Like, I will start off intermittent fasting, and then maybe when I know that it's time, like something bad back to back keeps happening, that's when I now jump into 3-day fasting. And that 3-day fasting, I use that to study. Like, I noticed that, for example, when I have these extreme emotions, like maybe, let's say, for example, you have emotions of rejection, right? And the rejection may not be intentional, right? But like, you still feel that rejection, whatever it is that caused that rejection feelings. And you get in your head, you start thinking, oh, so stupid, like, why did I even bother doing that? You know? And you just get in your head, you start thinking and replaying the conversation. You're like, why did I even act on impulse, you know? But then, like, if you didn't act on impulse, you wouldn't know what you know now. So sometimes you need to just do things the way your spirit feels like it, regardless of what the results may be. If it's rejection, if it doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to turn out, happy ending, who cares? At least now you know the answer to that question that you've been pining for 3 weeks. You've been pining for 3 weeks. Now you know the answers to your questions. Now you can rest. Everybody can rest. Your mind can rest. And even if you feel sad that it didn't turn out the way you wanted to, you know, you can cry. You know, just cry. But for me, I don't really cry that often. But if I do cry, it's not like, it's a different kind of cry. It's like a, I don't know, it's different. It depends on how I feel. But let that emotions out, you know. You need to let those emotions flow naturally. And then, like, you can go on TikTok and watch videos pertaining to the situation, and ask yourself, what am I going through that other people are not going through? And see the same thing that people are going through and how they're dealing with it and combating it. And oh shit, it's gonna be 8 minutes. Let me go to second part 2. I'm gonna go to part 2 because I don't want to be cut off.